Listen, nobody wants to waste their money on skincare products. So welcome back to Glow Getter or No Getter, a series here on the channel where I give you some rundown on products that I've tried and I tell you if it's gonna be a glow getter or if it's gonna be a no getter. So let's get into it. Now, mind you, there's gonna be timestamps listed in the description box. I encourage you to watch the full video, but however, if you want to, reference back to a product that I've talked about, the timestamps will be there for you. And if you're ever wondering, like, wow, I wonder if Danielle tried XYZ product. What you do is you go to my channel, the little magnifying glass, the little search button there, type in the name of that product. If I've done a video on it, any relevant videos will pop up. Now, I have been doing timestamps for a long time. I want to say at least the last 2 years at least. So these things are going to come up. You check out the description and you'll be able to find, where in the video I talked about the product. So now let's get into the first one. Okay, so first up we have the Naturium Vitamin Bright Eye Cream. So this is $18 for 0.5 fluid ounces of product. It comes in 2 shades, a light to medium, I believe, and then medium to deep. Obviously, I got the deepest shade. Well, they sent me both, but I gave the lighter shade away and, I tested out the deeper shade. Now, the active ingredient in this eye cream is 2% vitamin liposome complex. Now, here's the thing. Eye creams aren't always going to be a must-have for everybody's routine because for some people, your facial moisturizer may address whatever you need underneath the eyes. But this, which I would say kind of reminds me of Origins has a product just like this that I tried out. This does a little bit more than your average eye cream does. So I like this. It gives the under eye area a bit of a brightening effect, which looks amazing when you're makeup free and you just want to, add a little zhuzh to your skin while still taking care of the skin underneath your eyes. And it gives you kind of like a, oh, I look amazing. Yes, I woke up just like this. This is how I naturally look, kind of look, Except it's like, all right, who wakes up with luminous under eye areas, Now, here's the thing, because some of y'all be giving eye creams more, y'all be doing the most, thinking that eye creams can do the most. Now, while this eye cream does have ingredients in it that can help to reduce the appearance of dark circles over time, and then, like I mentioned before, it has like that brightening, luminous effect that it's kind of like an eye trick, almost like a IRL filter that it kind of gives you. Although it can do that, we definitely got to set up some realistic expectations on what a product like this can do. And I'm not just picking on this product, I'm talking about like eye creams in general. Now, although it can give you that nice brightening kind of look, and over time you may see some reduction in your dark circles, I would not expect anything super dramatic. Not that this is claiming that anyway. I remember I'm saying we need to set our own realistic expectations sometimes when it comes to skincare products. Now, while it can do some amazing things, what it ain't gonna do is all of a sudden make your dark circles disappear, especially if you've had them for quite some time. And they're the true dark circles, and then there's discoloration. We talked about discoloration. I'll put a video here, linked up here, that you can check out about under eye discoloration, because I had that and I got rid of a good chunk of it, and I talk about how I did that in that video. And eye cream is not gonna do anything for volume. It's not gonna do a thing for volume. Volume loss is something that an eye cream cannot address. An eye cream, let's think of it like this. If you think of a deflated balloon, what it ain't got no volume. Now you can put some nice moisturizer, some nice little eye cream, nice little illuminator on that deflated balloon, and the skin of the balloon is gonna look great, but it's still gonna be deflated. So when you're looking for more of a drastic change, that's something that you're gonna need to do with a pro. Now again, I'm not saying that this eye cream is claiming that. I'm just setting realistic expectations on what eye creams can do, because some of y'all out there be thinking, that eye creams can do more than what they can do. I'm just saying that. Now, is this a glow getter or is it a no getter? I would say that this is a glow getter, as long as you go in knowing what this product is going to do for you and what it's not going to do for you. So, have you tried it? Would you try it? Let me know in the comments. All right, next up we have another Naturium product. Is it Naturium? Let me go on their Instagram and see how you say this.
This might be one of the most exciting launches from my brand Naturium This is our multi.
Naturium, isn't that what I said? I think that's what I said. I hope that's what I said. We have another Naturium product. Yeah, so Naturium, I was saying it correctly, I think. So the Naturium Hyaluronic Acid Essence 2%. So an essence in skincare. It has been around for ages in Asian skincare routines. And it's actually been around in, in the US market for quite some time. Because if I remember correctly, I remember first writing about an essence when I used to write for Cosmo for Latinas, which was like 2011, 2012, or 2013. So it's been here for at least maybe about 10 years. But a lot of people don't know what essences are, and I'm gonna tell you what they do. So in essence, it's typically a very hydrating product that you would put in your routine. If you're gonna do like all the steps in your routine, it would come after your toner, but before your serum. And essences are said to help boost the efficacy of your serum. Now, if you don't have a toner, then you would just use, your essence right after cleansing. And these are best used on slightly damp skin, whether your skin is slightly damp from water or if it's slightly damp from a hydrating toner. Essences also tend to be a little bit thicker in consistency than a toner, but maybe not as thick as a serum sometimes, which is great. Well, what I think is great about an essence, because when it's a little bit thicker in consistency, I can just, put the product in my hand and then just press it into my face without a whole bunch of like product being like dripping down on my hands and whatnot, because just the consistency just makes it a little easier for you to just press it into your skin. Now, not everybody is going to need an essence in your routine, because for some people, you may have a product in your skincare routine that is already providing you that optimal hydration. Me, I only just started adding the hydration step, the additional hydration step, I should say, within the last maybe like 2 years. And my favorite essence that I've only tried a handful of essences, but my favorite so far has been the SK2 Patera essence. However, that sucker ain't cheap. Now, I got a couple of them in PR, but then when I, just using it all up, I was like, ooh, I like this. I wound up saying, like, it doesn't make sense for me to keep buying the, I forget how big it is, but like about this big. I'll put it on the screen. But that's $99. And I'm like, I'm going through them pretty quickly. It makes more sense for me to get, the bigger one with a little pump and everything, whatever. Anyway, that was $325. I paid $260 for it because I got it during the Sephora holiday savings event where I got 20% off of, me and VIB Rouge. Am I saying that the Naturium Hyaluronic Acid Essence 2% is the same thing as the SK2 Patera essence? No, there's a difference in ingredients. There can be a difference in where the ingredients are sourced, which, that's not something that's gonna be on the back of the bottle, because they ain't gonna tell you like, oh, we got, well, sometimes they do be like, oh, we picked our ingredients from the finest of unicorn tears and angel hair. You know how some of these brands be embellishing, right? I do like it. If something were to happen, I still have a good amount of my Patera essence left, maybe like a fourth or a third of the bottle, no, probably closer to a fourth of the bottle left in there. And I have been using this and I have really liked it. It's a very nice hydration step in my routine. I don't know, it's like $260 or $325 versus $16 though. Sometimes it's like, sometimes you might, look man, my value is in my budget.
Budgets are budget.
I don't know, we all different. Sometimes, we make choices based on budget. Sometimes we base it on, the luxurious feeling. So, that's a you thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, a couple of more things about this. It's fragrance free, it's vegan, cruelty free, gluten free. For anybody that wants to know about those things, 5.7 fluid ounces for $16. Now, like I said, not everybody is going to need an essence in your skincare routine. However, sometimes you might find it very beneficial, especially if you have dry skin or if you have dehydrated skin. Now, you can have dry dehydrated skin, you can have oily dehydrated skin. I have oily skin, and I do find that the hydration step, like I've mentioned before, I've been adding that additional step for maybe like the last 2 years. I do see a difference in how my skin looks in terms of the glow and the way that my skin feels. And I've always had smooth skin, but like, I don't know, like that joint is like extra smooth. You get 20 points if you know that reference. But there also may be certain times of the year where you're like, dag, I could really use this extra hydration, especially now we're going into the colder months. We're gonna be running that artificial heat inside, which you should be putting your humidifier on, but you also may wanna, add some additional layers of hydration to your skin. So that's where an essence may be something you might wanna pick up. Now, is this a glow getter or a no-getter? I'd say that this is a glow-getter, but I'd say if you're not currently using an essence and you've been very curious about them, now mind you, there are a lot of essences out there, especially if you look in some of the Korean or Japanese skincare brands, you'll see a lot of essences and they're not very expensive either. Like for instance, this one's $16. Some of the Korean and Japanese essences are like, you know, $10, $11, $12. So if you've been curious about it and you know, the price range, you're like, okay, I don't mind, you know, spending the $10 to $16 or, you know, whatever it is for an essence. And there's nothing in there that's gonna irritate your skin, because you know, if you have very sensitive skin, make sure you're reading the labels, you're doing your patch tests and all that other stuff, because we don't just throw stuff on our skin and, you know, hope for the best here. Then I'd say, have at it. Try it out. Would you try this? Have you tried this? Let me know in the comments. So next up, the Skinfix Barrier Plus. This is a long name. Skin Barrier Restoring Gel Cream. This is $48 and you're gonna get 1.7 ounce of product. So I've been noticing that some of our favorite thick moisturizers, the brands are coming out with a lightweight version of them, which I think is great, because if you already love a brand's moisturizer, chances are, you know, especially if you live in a place where you're gonna get different seasons, chances are you may need a lighter version of it for some portion of the year when, you know, the weather gets a little warmer, or if you travel, or, you know, whatever you do. See, me personally, I don't use the same daytime moisturizer in the winter as I do in the summer, because I live here in New York City. It's like 90 degrees in the summertime and then like 20 sometimes in the winter. So I definitely benefit from having multiple moisturizer formulas in my stash. So the Skinfix Barrier Plus Triple Lipid Peptide Cream, they just throw a lot of names in here, and that's not this one. That's this one, this version here. That has been a fave for so many, including me, because it's fragrance free. It's got the fatty acid oils in them, which we have learned fatty acid oils are great for helping the skin barrier, which is great if you have dry skin or if you happen to be someone who is prone to hyperpigmentation. Dr. Alexa Stevens has a video on this, which, you know, you can click up there and check that out. And then I did a video on some, you know, trying out some of the moisturizers that she mentioned in her video, so check my video out too. Now, like I said, I like that triple lipid peptide cream. However, it was not something that I could wear year round. Like, I could wear it at night year round, typically. Now, for me to wear it during the day, it would have to be one of those like really cold, dry winter days for it to, you know, not feel all heavy on my skin. You know what I mean? Now, while this doesn't have the fatty acid oils like the triple lipid peptide cream does, this does have some great ingredients in it if you're looking for something that's lighter weight, but you still want to have something that's going to help protect and restore your skin's barrier. So this has ingredients in it that help to bind water to the skin, something that we want, because whether you have dry skin or oily skin or, you know, balanced skin, you're gonna want that water in there. Your skin needs water to function. It also has ingredients in it to help tone and smooth the skin, and ingredients that are going to help to protect and repair the skin barrier. And it can do that without that heavy feel. Now, here's the thing. So gel creams have been around in skincare for a long time, right? Now, I love a good gel cream, especially during the daytime when it's very hot. I like a good gel cream. However, sometimes some of these gel creams, depending on how dry the air is, sometimes you can put a gel cream on and within like an hour or so, your skin is feeling like dang, I ain't put anything on. Like, my skin feels so dry and tight. So what I like about this is that you got that lightweight feel, but you have these ingredients in it that are gonna help to, like, again, bind the water into the skin. It's gonna help the skin's barrier. Now, the only thing is, like, this sounds great and all, right? Now, like I said, this is fragrance free, but just because something is fragrance free doesn't mean that it does not have a scent. When something is fragrance free, it means that there are no ingredients in it that are solely in there to fragrant the product, right? So something that's fragrance free can have a scent to it, and the scent to this, I don't like it. Oh, it reminds me of Jerry curl juice. Like, I would smell something like this in the 80s as a kid, because, you know, back in the 80s, everybody was, you know, letting their soul glow and whatnot. And it just like smells like curl activator and just juice. And if you're unfamiliar with that, I don't mean juice like juice you would drink. I mean like Jerry curl juice, like, you know, the product that you put on your hair to make it like, you remember Michael Jackson and the Jacksons, they had the I'll put a picture of here so y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, I've been obviously smell is subjective, and I have a particularly sensitive nose. Like if I don't like the smell of something, like it just, sometimes it can just be really off-putting. And sometimes something can smell not so great, but then it dries down and, you know, after a while you don't smell it. I kept smelling this and I was just like, ugh. But like I said, the smell is subjective, so just because I don't like the smell don't mean that you're not gonna like the smell. But I would say it's like in the middle for me personally. Like it's a great product, but I just can't stand the smell. Now, if you want something similar, I would say look at the Peter Thomas Roth, and this is another product with a long name. I would look at the Peter Thomas Roth Water Drench Hyaluronic Cloud Rich Barrier Moisturizer. They came out with that, I want to say maybe earlier this year or sometime last year. It's a thicker version of their Hyaluronic Cloud Cream. It's a thicker version, so you get that lightweight feel, but it's giving you a little bit more, which might be better for you in the colder months or if you have dry skin. Or you might want to try the product I'm about to talk about next. So next up, the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Water Cream. So this is $100 for 1.7 ounces. However, there is a refill, which is also 1.7 ounces that you can get for $90. And there's a 0.5 ounce for $30. This is another example of a brand that had a thick, beloved moisturizer and was like, you know what? Let's make a lightweight moisturizer as well. Now, let me tell you something. I love the Magic Cream. Like, I love it. Like I said, I have oily skin. The Magic Cream is one of few moisturizers that I could actually wear like a good majority of the year. Now, I'm not gonna wear it on a 90-degree summer day, but 75, 80, I might be able to rock with it, right? So I love the Magic Cream, and I actually really love the Magic Water Cream. Now let me give you some information about the differences between the two. So the Magic Cream, much like the Skinfix triple lipid peptide cream, also had fatty acid oils in it. So the Magic Water Cream uses similar ingredients as the Skinfix restoring gel cream that help to, you know, bind the water into the skin, which again, something we really want. It also has ingredients in it to help smooth and tone the skin, as well as ingredients that will help with the skin barrier. Now, they're not the same exact ingredients that the Skinfix restorative gel cream does, but they, you know, they can do similar things for the skin. It's also fragrance free, but it doesn't have a strong scent, at least not a strong scent that I picked up. And I really enjoyed my experience with this. This feels really nice on the skin. It's lightweight, but it's not like one of those gel creams where you put it on and within an hour or two, you're like, oh my God, where, like, what happened?
Not feeling anything.
And typically that happens when like the air is really dry. Hyaluronic acid is amazing because it draws 1,000 times its weight in water. However, if there is no water with which to draw, it's going to draw that water from your skin sometimes. So if you're in an environment where it's like really dry, you're going to want to seal that hyaluronic acid with something, you know, a little more substantial. But anyway, this is not like one of those gel creams that feel like after an hour or two, it feels like you have nothing on. So it's lightweight, yet it feels substantial. Probably not gonna be something I'm gonna wear in the dead of winter. For that, I would probably just, you know, wear the Magic Cream. But overall, I really like my experience with this. However, sometimes when I get products in PR, which everything from this video I got in PR, sometimes I have I don't get around to looking at the price of things until I'm writing out a script to do a video like this. And then I was like, wait, this is $100? Like, now I don't mind paying $100 for the Magic Cream. Love the Magic Cream. I would fork over $100 for the Magic Cream. I have finished probably like 4 or 5 containers of Magic Cream. But this, and you might call it girl math because, you know, I'm sure there's a justification as to why this is $100. But in my girl math, you know, brain, $100? And it's the same 1.7 ounces that you would get with the Magic Cream, but I'm just like, $100 though. A whole Ben Franklin? But that's just me. Anyway, as much of a Charlotte Tilbury lover that I am, really love that brand. This $100? This is gonna be sadly a no-getter for me. Anyway, what about you? Have you tried it? Would you try it? Let me know in the comments. Now, I have had some thoughts about some other skincare products, one of which I was like, okay, absolutely nobody asked for this. Why is this on the market? Find out what that is. I'm gonna link it here. You're gonna, click on the video so you can watch it next, and I'll see you there.